incorrect. According to the HPBA, of the people who barbecue in the US, 52% enjoy the lifestyle aspect, 40% do it for the entertainment, 33% find it very convenient, and 18% of people do it for the healthier lifestyle of grilled food. There are a number of reasons why someone would want to barbecue. However, CCU students do not have this option. My proposition: create a designated area outside specifically for barbecuing. There are a number of benefits to barbecuing that have been studied and proven, and it should be an option that is available because it isn't practical to go somewhere else in order to.
According to firescience.org, any given year means approximately 3,800 on-campus housing fires, 88% of which are a result of a cooking-related mishap. UCrestFire.org tells us that we are in the peak month of these fatal fires, as well as the fact that a fire sprinkler wasn't present in a majority of these cases. Therefore, university students should not be able to use barbecue equipment such as grills, lighter fluid, matches, coals, etc. as desired on campus. The statistics I mentioned earlier are tragic, and students being able to use barbecue equipment whenever they please and wherever they please can easily lead to cases being added to this number. This could easily be avoided by removing the ability to freely use and man barbecue grills, lighter fluid, coals, matches, etc.
To start with my first argument, CCU, it's all about community. It's in the motto, we know this. And barbecuing is an excellent opportunity to build community. A study done by Oxford says that the more often people eat with others, the more likely they are to feel happy and satisfied with their lives. We do have opportunities to eat together in the caf, coop den, etc. as options available on campus. However, there are chances where this is not an option, and this is an area outside of it where this is possible.
While it is very true that CCU is big on community and that grilling can definitely be a really good way to experience that, it's not going to be fun if people undercook the meat and then give food poisoning. According to FSIS.usda.gov, the minimum safe cooking temperature for beef, pork, veal, and lamb steaks, chops, and roasts is 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I didn't know that, and I would assume the same for a lot of college students, and I may be wrong, but if this reigns true, this could cause serious problems when students try to cook their own food, unknowingly undercooking it and giving themselves and anybody else they cooked for food poisoning, which would not be a fun time during community.
This is absolutely very true. And however, students do have opportunities. There are possibilities where it is necessary for students to be able to cook their own food. And while this is a risk, what do you do when food services aren't open? People are here during breaks and not as many meals are available on the weekends. There are also people who have less meal swipes or no meal plan whatsoever because they plan to cook them food themselves. And it should be available for them to have options to choose from if they are doing these things.
While it is very true that some people do not have meal swipes and it could be very useful to have the ability to cook on your own, I think that at least if they plan to do that, they should be educated and maybe take a test or do some research into it first, because I feel like many people don't, and many people don't know how to use how to start the grills safely. Like lighter fluid. Lighter fluid, while a useful tool, can easily become very dangerous and harmful if misused. Many a time I've seen people incorrectly use this fluid, creating an environment welcome to injury. A lot of people in Boy Scouts use this and they just go crazy because teenage boys. But it seems that so many people I see using this accelerant are completely unaware of how to do so safely and correctly. NationalParkServices.gov tells us that lighter fluid should never be applied directly to embers, open flames. Doing so quickly makes the fire bigger and can easily burn you if you're close enough. It should only be used before a fire is lit as a helpful starter. Like it says, it can kind of flare up really quickly and burn, and there's really not many people can react in time to get out of the way of the flames. So you should be knowledgeable about that.
I absolutely agree with these points. It is very true that there are absolutely risks necessary, but precautions can be taken to avoid these risks. For example, this is why I proposed having an outside area away from flammable places. There are precautions that can be taken to minimize the risk of fire. For example, Nick Gromyko, founder of the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors, says that electrical grills are typically safer than propane and charcoal, so the type used can be taken into account, and also unplugging the extension cord when it's not in use. We can also leave out something such as a sign for in case students don't know some things like you mentioned earlier, like the temperature necessary for cooking certain foods, how to put out a fire if a situation should arise.
While I feel that is very true and the electric option is also very good, there's also the possibility, and I'm not 100% educated on this, so I couldn't say for sure. I feel like electric grills may be more expensive possibly, and not sure about that, but could be more expensive, which could cause problems for college students. College students. But yeah, I think that's a good point, but also it's just hard to guarantee that you can get that, and it's also I think the sign idea is great, but also very prone to people being dumb people and messing with signs or tearing them down or defacing them, or just general weathering might like destroy the signs or make them hard to read, thus not providing the knowledge to do grilling safely.
I must admit that you do make some valid points, so I congratulate you. But to restate my recommendation, instead of this policy, simply make a specific area outside. By creating a designated area for this, the reasons why this policy was implemented in the first place will not be as much of an issue, such as it will not be a major fire hazard if precautions are taken, it'll be available when circumstances lead to limited food options, and it creates a chance to connect with people.
Again, you also had some very good arguments, but imagine a world where no one is tragically killed in a fatal fire started by misuse of a grill. If you don't act, then that will likely never be so, and people will continue to get hurt and die from these fatal flames. Therefore, I challenge you to discourage the use and especially misuse of grills on campus, or at least correct any dangerous habits or behaviors you see regarding grilling. Maybe then we may have a world free of fire-related deaths.